Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please give your confirmations on the chat box if you can hear me. Thank you, Mustafa. Thank you, Shashank. Thank you all for your confirmations. Thank you all for joining the session. Let us stop the chat. Let us stop the chat. Thank you very much for your responses. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Let us stop the chat. What is our plan for today? I'll be showing you how to create a new AWS account. Because all the DevOps concepts, we are learning will be on the AWS platform. So participants, you should be comfortable working with AWS. Okay, so you have to have an AWS account. Some of you already know how to create an AWS account, especially for participants who are new to DevOps, new to AWS. Considering those participants, I'll be showing you how to create a new AWS account, how to create a new Linux machine, how to create a new Linux machine, how can we connect to that Linux machine using the terminal called as putty. So this is something which is very, very important basics. Everybody should know it. So that is what we are planning for today's session. And in the previous session, in the yesterday session, some participants have raised their hands for interaction. But because of time limitations, we had a limited interaction with some of the participants. As this is day 2, any questions, you can raise your hand. We'll have a interaction quickly. Starting with the Leonard. Good morning, Leonard. How are you doing? Your location and your experience, please. You are now allowed to unmute. I can see your hand raised, Leonard. You are now allowed to unmute and speak.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello, Leonard.
I'm Leonard, and I'm new here. As of my experience, I've done Scrum and cybersecurity partially. Yeah, I've done partially cybersecurity, and then I've done partially AWS, though I didn't complete it due to health problems. So I also wanted to ask if I have an existing AWS account, will it be possible for me to proceed with this one, or I'm going to need to create a new account?
You can use your existing account.
Okay, thank you very much.
You are from which location?
I'm presently in USA, but I'm from Cameroon.
Okay. I think many old participants are from Cameroon, my participants.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, Jagadish.
Yeah, very good morning, Sunil.
Yes.
First of all, thank you. The way you are explaining, very good, Sunil.
Thank you, Jagadish.
I have a bit confusion, Sunil. Yesterday, you explained that what is DevOps, right? So it is a methodology to fill the gap between development and operations team.
Yes.
The confusion is here. I heard somewhere like it is like development plus operations.
Okay.
So there is a confusion for me.
Okay. It's not development plus operations. Okay. It helps in coordination between these two teams, Jagadish. Okay.
Yeah.
So see, we cannot do developmental activities. We are not from a development team. In such case, we cannot be development plus operations. Are you understood? So
Yeah.
it is coordination between it helps these tools helps in coordination between these two teams, which helps in automation. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, and so you explained that waterfall and agile model, right? So
Correct.
it is not a new SDLC approach, right? It is on the top of agile approach.
Correct.
We are full the gap.
Correct. It's not a software DevOps is not SDLC. Okay. We will be implementing DevOps in the software development lifecycle.
On top of agile
On
model
top of
only.
agile model. Correct.
Okay, so yeah, thanks. That it's clear now. We are not doing the development plus operations. It's a
Correct.
coordination.
We are
Thank
not
you.
developers, isn't it, Jagadish? We are not learning any technology like Java,
Yeah,
Python. So
yeah.
obviously,
Confused. Like we need to work on both development and operations. That's why.
no. It's not our duty to perform development. It's not our duty to perform operations team, because operations team will have their own specialties like middleware administration, database administration, network administration, which we are not doing it. So we are collaborating these two teams using the DevOps tools. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Sunil.
Yes. So how do you know about this institute?
No, I joined a year back, Sunil. I learned that AWS that you gave free session, right?
It's
So
very
that I
long back.
joined.
Mhm.
Yeah, after that I did not get a chance to practice on that due to my
Mhm.
project work pressure and all.
Okay. May I
So
know your current platform?
currently I'm working in support like ETL, OBI, and there is some
Mhm.
Salesforce Cloud.
Okay.
So earlier I was working in development also.
Mhm.
Now I thought it's a better time to move
Move to
instead of working.
DevOps. Yeah, correct. DevOps is good, Jagadish. Okay, focus here. Please practice.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Sunil.
Thank you, Jagadish. Mujtaba, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you?
Good. Yeah. So I have a question from yesterday's class.
Yes.
So, I mean, like I worked on client operating system. Then I have like 2 years of experience working on Linux. But
Mhm.
since April, I'm working as a QA.
Okay.
So after I'm done with this course, like, can you people help me to? I mean, like, how can I show DevOps under my current QA role? Is that
Okay.
possible?
No, you cannot project DevOps in the current QA role. Okay. You are, may I know your total years of experience?
3.5.
3.5 years of experience, right?
Yes.
This 3.5 years of experience you worked in QA, you
No,
worked in
no. Since April, I'm working as QA. Before that, I worked on Windows 11, Linux, and Solaris, and
okay.
little bit on Docker.
Okay. Okay. So you have to remove all this Windows 11 Docker QA experience. You should not mention this. The complete 3.5 years of experience you have to mention as a DevOps role completely. Do
But
not
my,
mention your
but
previous,
yeah. I mean, like in employee background check, my job title would be QA analyst, right?
no problem. In the background check, they will check whether you are a working employee or not. Okay. The
Okay.
role is not important.
So after this, if I buy this course, you people will help me how to do that stuff, right?
We will help you in resume preparation.
Yeah. According
Okay.
to.
We will provide you the sample resumes. You have to read those resumes, so pick up the points whichever you feel comfortable and build your own resume,
Okay.
Mustafa.
So
Okay.
so you. Okay. Last question. Sorry. So
And
you think they'll.
let's say if you don't want to keep 3.5 years of experience, you can project only 2.5 years of experience, and 1 year experience you can put your actual skill set. Okay, the
Okay.
Windows environment, whatever it is, and the latest 2.5 year of experience, you have to project it as DevOps. Your latest experience should be on DevOps. Then you will start receiving the calls.
Okay.
Okay, in the call, you have to uh, you have to prove your subject knowledge in the DevOps. That's the only criteria.
Okay.
Don't worry about your existing role, your pay slip. You don't worry about this. You will, the moment you place an resume, you will start receiving the calls. Your only agenda is to convince the technical, you need to convince the technical interview with the subject knowledge. If that you are able to do it, your offer will be released. That's all.
Uh, and
Okay. So
yeah,
your
last
highest
small question.
priority should be, Mustafa, highest priority should be the technical knowledge. That's
Okay.
the most important part. Okay.
So as a DevOps, will they send us like a coding challenge or something before technical interview?
They'll not send you any coding challenge. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Aslam, bye. Good morning.
Good morning, Sunil. Well, I was not able to join yesterday, and this is my first day today, but I did go through the recording for maybe half of the recording. And yeah, so I'm on student visa here in US.
Okay.
Yeah, but I'm currently working as a manual test engineer
Okay.
on CPT actually. So
Okay. You have completed your MS and you are in the CPT. So,
no, the CPD is during the masters actually. So I'm about to graduate this December.
okay.
Yeah,
So you should be ready with your skill set so that you can start applying for the jobs. Am I right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
okay. So do you know AWS?
I'm sorry.
Do you know AWS?
Um, I was just able to log in. I came up to that, but about the DevOps, I mean, I was just browsing here and there and got some idea how it goes, but not the actual, the information about the tools and all.
My
So
question is not DevOps. My question is, do you know AWS?
no, not exactly.
Okay. So
Yeah,
anyways, after completing this DevOps, you have to learn AWS course also. Please do that.
sure.
After this DevOps course,
Mm-hmm.
or if you have time, you can do it parallelly. Please complete the AWS course also. Every DevOps professional is expected to be have a medium average to good knowledge on DevOps platform. So, sorry, AWS platform. So please acquire the AWS skills. Combination of skills will do good in the interview. You will feel very confident in the interview. Okay, Aslam?
Okay. And
Okay.
another question, with this training, do you think I'll be able to attend any of the certification?
Okay. There is no certification for DevOps. Interesting point. Aslam.
Okay.
There is no certification for all-round DevOps engineer role or something. There is a
Mm-hmm.
certification for each and every
AWS.
tool. Each and every tool. DevOps is a group of tools, right? We have
Yeah.
Jenkins, we have Maven, we have Docker. There's a certification for Docker. There is only exclusive certification for Kubernetes. There is a certification for Jenkins. There is no common certification like a DevOps certification or something like that.
Um,
So that is the
but
reason there is no much importance for certification in DevOps. All the DevOps resources, they
mhm.
they plan for certification on AWS. A DevOps engineer having certification on AWS, it add value. Okay,
Okay.
Aslam?
Yeah.
If you are applying for certification, I strongly recommend you to learn AWS and become AWS certified solutions architect.
Okay. Sure.
A DevOps engineer having certified with AWS certification will definitely increase the value of your resume. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. So
Thank you very much, Sunil.
final call before moving on to today's concept. Good morning, William.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you doing? Your location?
I'm doing very well. So I'm here in the US. I'm originally from Ghana, West Africa. Just doing this course because I found that was very interesting. I have a little bit basis on it, but I haven't really done the comprehensive course itself. So I just started with you yesterday, and
Very good.
I like your teaching, the way you're able to break it down and all that. Very interesting to know. Initially, I was a little bit skeptical. I thought I wasn't going to really understand, but thank God I really understand you clearly. So that's good.
Thank you, William. How do you know about this course?
So I just found it through a referral, and one of my guys have done some course right here, and he just referred me to it. So which is a plus. My question is, so after our training,
do we have like a group study? Do you have some group to put together to do like self-study and prepare ourselves for interview and all that as other classes
There
do?
is no group study, okay?
Okay.
But I'm planning for a project work, a small workshop after the
Okay.
course. Okay, so
Okay.
along with that, you'll be given a documentation to do it by yourself. So that
Okay.
will help you. Okay, but there's no
That's
group
fine.
study. Okay,
Okay. Interesting. Thank you.
continue learning and acquire the skills and try to get the dream IT job. Thank you. Abdul, good morning. Your location, how are you doing?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Abdelaziz. I'm currently serving with the U.S. Army, and I'm really interested in this course. I've done a lot of IT stuff, but a friend of mine advised me to to join your class, and that you do an amazing job. I was working all day yesterday at night, so I didn't get a chance to. So today's my first day. And what do I need to do to have access to your first class from yesterday? And
Okay.
what else will you advise me to, in terms of resources that, because I know, the class is recorded and you can pay for the recordings, right?
Yes. I just
Okay.
want to
So,
know, are you in the
go ahead.
WhatsApp, are you in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, I'm on the WhatsApp group. Yes.
For this particular batch, there is an exclusive WhatsApp group created. Are you part of the WhatsApp group?
Yes, that was the one that that was sent. It shows that is this class. That's the one that pops up. I think is something. I think it's 245 or something like that.
You are right, 245.
Yes.
Okay. So stay in the WhatsApp group. You get the session recordings. Okay. Even today's recording, you'll get it in the WhatsApp group. So participants,
Okay.
I'm sharing the WhatsApp group. If you are not in the WhatsApp group, please join the WhatsApp group, which is exclusively created for this particular batch. So you get the updates about this particular batch. And next point, Abdul, the first 4 sessions are free sessions. You can experience how the training
Okay.
happens. If you like the training, you
Okay.
need to make the payment and enroll for the course. Okay. And
Perfect. And
how?
how much is the payment? How much is it in US dollars?
I think it is very less. I'll show you. Please have a look at it. Go to upcoming batches in the website.
Okay.
Do you know our website, Abdul?
No, no, I don't. Is it going to be on the WhatsApp group?
It is in the WhatsApp group. Anyways, I'm also sending it the website link in the chat box. So go
Okay.
to upcoming batches. You can see my screen. Go to upcoming batches. This is our batch, AWS batch number 245. And here is the WhatsApp group. And here is the Zoom
Okay.
link to join. And here is the link to buy the course, that is to enroll the course.
Okay.
And
Okay.
as per Indian rupees, it is 6,499. As per US dollars, I think it is. Close to
Okay.
$85 or $90, very, very less. Okay. So
Okay.
you can please make the payment. International payments, please make the payment using credit card. You can make the payment from the website, and
Okay.
then you can continue the remaining set of sessions. Okay.
Okay. And then another question is, so let's say, I take the class and for some reason I still go back and watch the videos that, for the recorded classes. And let's say for some reason I don't really, really get it. And then can I still join the next batch? Because I would like to do it twice. Because will you have another batch?
You can repeat. I have seen many participants repeating the batch, but you have to repeat within 1 year.
Okay, perfect.
The validity is 1 year. Within 1 year, you can repeat
Okay.
the course one more time.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Abdul. All the best. Okay. Keep learning.
Thank you. All right.
Vanessa.
Hello.
Good morning, Vanessa.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. My name is Vanessa Chatop. I'm also new to the group. It's my first class today, and I'm not too much acquainted with IT. This will be one of my first classes in IT. People talked a lot about this AWS stuff, and I wanted to be acquainted with it. That's why I'm taking the class. And Uh, I had the same questions as my predecessor, but you answered the question. You said you are going to put the first class in the group, in the WhatsApp group. Um, I would like to ask, please, is AWS an acronym? Does it have a full meaning?
Okay. AWS stands for Amazon Web Services. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Amazon Web Services. By the way, we are not learning AWS in this course. This course is a
Oh, okay.
DevOps course. Okay. Keep in mind. Okay.
Okay, Linux course.
Sorry.
You said this course is what is a Linux course?
This is not a Linux course. This is a DevOps course.
Oh, okay, okay. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Let's get started. So participants, DevOps, we can learn it on AWS platform. The same DevOps tools, we can learn it on Microsoft Azure. DevOps, we can learn it on Google Cloud, GCP. Okay. So we are learning DevOps on AWS platform. Okay. So that's why this is called as DevOps. This title is called as DevOps on AWS. Our focus is DevOps, my dear participants. Our focus is DevOps, and all the DevOps tools, we will be installing it and we'll be managing it in our AWS platform. So that's the reason the title I have mentioned is DevOps on AWS. If you learn DevOps and Azure, then you are called as Azure DevOps engineer. Okay, so you are called as Azure DevOps. People call it as AWS DevOps. This is called as GCP DevOps. So if you say that I'm looking for DevOps, I'm working on DevOps, then you will get a question obviously instantly. Is it on Azure or is it on AWS? Okay, so the tools remain the same, the concepts remain the same, but on which platform you are working makes difference. I hope I'm very clear. This course, because this is very, very important, you have to know it. This course is AWS DevOps. That means we'll be learning DevOps on AWS. Keep in mind. So for especially people who are directly jumping into DevOps, who are directly learning DevOps without having an idea on AWS, considering from their point of view, today I'll be spending some time to create a new AWS account. You have to have an AWS account. Without AWS account, you cannot practice, you cannot perform hands-on with the DevOps tools. You should have an AWS account. So in this session, I'll show you how to create a new AWS account. The prerequisite for DevOps is that we should all be you should be good at basics of Linux. Participants, we should be good in basics of Linux. So I'll be also showing you how to create a Linux machine on AWS. I'll be showing you how to create an AWS account and also show you how to create a Linux machine on AWS. And not only just creating a Linux machine, we'll also learn how can we connect to the Linux machine using the terminal called as PuTTY. So this is our plan for today's session. I hope you already, some participants already know how to create a new AWS account, how to create a Linux machine. That's okay. Please bear with me. This is for participants who are completely new to AWS, considering their point of view to make them comfortable. This session, I'll be focusing on showing the process of creating a new AWS account. Participants, if you want to create a new AWS account, you should have email address. Okay, you should have email address. That's not a problem. We all have an email address. Okay, no problem at all. You should have a mobile number. You have to have a mobile number. Okay, and you should have a debit card. If you have credit card, could be difficult, but if you have a debit card, that's enough. You should have an email address, you should have a mobile number. My participants, if you are having two mobile numbers, please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account. Please use the mobile number which is linked to your bank account, and please use a debit card. And if you are using a debit card, please make sure that the debit card is enabled for international transactions. By default, the debit card will not be enabled for international transactions. You talk to the customer care or from the mobile app or from the internet banking, you can go to the debit card section. There's an option called international transactions. By default, it will be disabled. Log into internet banking and please enable the debit card for international transactions. So if you have email address with you, if you have mobile number with you, active mobile number, and if you have a debit card which is enabled for international transactions, if you have these three details with you, you can go ahead and create a new AWS account. You can go ahead and create a new AWS account. I already have an AWS account. Participants, I already have an AWS account. So AWS is very simple. Don't worry about what is it. AWS, it is nothing but collection of services. That's all. AWS is a collection of services. That's all. Okay, like for example, like Gmail. What is Gmail? Gmail is an email service, right? What is Google Drive? We all know, we all use Google Drive. It is a storage service. It's a storage, like email. Gmail is a email service. Google Drive is a storage service. Okay, like Netflix is a streaming service. Amazon Prime is a streaming. These are all services. In the same way, AWS is also a collection of services. AWS is a platform which is collection of services. Don't think more about this. I'll show you how to. I already have an AWS account. As I already have an AWS account, I'll show you how to log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Participant, the URL is aws.amazon.com. Log into this AWS amazon.com, and I'll show you how exactly the AWS platform looks like and how is collection of services. This is participants especially who are directly jumping into DevOps without having any knowledge on AWS. So considering them, I'll show you how to log into AWS. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the console. I already have an account. As I already have an account, I'll be logging in with email address and the password. Sign in. Perfect. I have logged into AWS account. This is the home page, console home. Participants, I have successfully logged into AWS account. You can see here I've logged in with my account, and this is my account ID. I have successfully logged into my AWS. As I have just mentioned, AWS is collection of what? Collection of services. You may have a question, Sunil, show me where the services are available. How many services are there in AWS? As I have logged in the left side corner, can you see we have an option called services? When you click on services, you will find list of all the services. These are all the services. We have services related to S3. S3 is one service, okay? These are all the services. You can see here, there are services related to analytics. There is services related to application integration. There are services related to blockchain. There is services related to compute power. There are services related to containers. There are services related to database. Huge lot of services. You can see here, there are many number of services available. If you click on all services, all services, you can see here, these are all the services available in AWS. AWS is a collection of services. Total number of services in AWS. AWS offering how many number of services? There are total 200 AWS services available. How many services are there in AWS? There are close to 200 services available, which suits different technologies in different industries and different use cases. And this is a platform which is group of 200 services. That's it. So AWS is a platform which is group of approximately 200 services. I have shown you these are all the services available in AWS. I have shown you how the services, how can we look at the services. I have shown you because I already have an AWS account. If you want to experience these services, if you want to log into AWS, you have to create a new AWS account. Now I'm showing you how to create a new AWS account. Let me log out of my account. Let me sign out of my account. I have logged out of my AWS account. I'll show you from the scratch. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign into the console. If I already have an account, I can happily sign in with my email address and password. Scroll down here, there's an option called create a new AWS account. Here there's an option called create a new AWS account. So you have to create a new AWS account. Click on this. Yes. So it is asking for email address. As I just told you, you have to have three details. You have to have email address, you have to have mobile number, you have to have a debit card. I have a document with me. I'll be sharing this document today. I have clearly created a document with the screenshots of creating a new AWS account. You can see step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. Total we have 7 steps. Total 9 steps. I have clearly documented with the screenshots of step-by-step process of creating a new AWS account. Let me run through the document. The URL is aws.amazon.com. So the moment you log in to the AWS, you have to go ahead and select an option creating a new AWS account. When you ask for creating a new AWS account, you need to provide your email address and login password. Please observe. Okay, you need to provide your email address. You need to provide your login password. And create your account name. You need to select a particular account name. So that's enough. And click on continue. So this furnishing your email address and the login password, you have to do it in step 1. Once you complete providing the email address and login password and creating a new AWS account, next step. You need to provide your contact information. Very important point of observation, participants. Very important point of observation, participants. As you can see in the screen, AWS provides 2 types of accounts. One is professional account, the other one is personal account. Please select account type as personal. You are creating an account for your personal use. You're creating an account for your personal use. Please select the account type as personal. Please provide your full name. Please provide your mobile number. Please select your right country. I have seen participants providing India mobile number country, they change it. They will be taking the default as US. Make sure the mobile number and the country are the right informations. Okay. And step 3, you need to provide your debit card details. So mobile number you have furnished in step 2, and debit card or credit card details you have to furnish in step 3. As you can see here, it is asking for the debit card number, expiry date. Please provide these details. I already have provided this kind of details. And then please click on verify and add your debit card to your AWS account. When you verify it, you will get an OTP to validate whether the debit card details what you have entered is correct or not. Please observe, you'll get an OTP from the bank to verify whether the debit card details what you have entered, and 2 rupees will be deducted from your bank account. Please provide the valid OTP to verify your debit card. Okay, once you complete your verification of debit card, again it will ask you to enter your mobile number one more time to verify your mobile number. First verification is for the debit card, second verification is entering your mobile number, and you'll get an OTP to verify your mobile number. Please verify your mobile number one more time. Next. Important point again. AWS provides 3 types of plan: basic plan, developer plan, and business plan. Select the basic plan. That is enough for us to learn DevOps. Basic plan is enough for us to learn DevOps. Please select the plan as DevOps. Please select the basic plan. Participants, basic plan is free for a period of 12 months. So please select the basic plan. And please select your role, whatever the current role, and you're interested in whatever the current platform. Please select the role and platform. That's all. That's all. This is how to create a new AWS account. Once you're done with your AWS account, you can log in. As I have just shown you how to log into AWS, you can also complete the creation of AWS account and log into your AWS account. Clear? So creating an AWS account is very, very easy. Okay, please follow the steps and go ahead and create a new AWS account. Once an AWS account is created, you get an email saying that AWS account is successfully created, but it will take approximately 12 hours for your AWS account to get activated. Creation is one step, activation is one step. Once the AWS account is created, it will take 12 hours of time for your AWS account to get activated, maximum 12 hours of time. So sometimes you may not work instantly. You have to wait for an activation mail. You get one more email saying that your AWS account is activated. Once your AWS account is activated, you can start using your AWS account. You can log into AWS and explore all the 200 services what AWS is providing. Clear? I hope I'm very clear in showing you how to create a new AWS account. Okay, please follow this. I'll be sharing this document to you. Please follow today immediately after the session, because AWS is mandatory to practice, to do hands-on. You have to have an AWS account. So please go ahead. If you are not having an AWS account, please go ahead and create a new AWS account. The AWS account which you have, which will be created, will be free for 12 months. For 1 year, the AWS account is absolutely free. The free tier account is for a period of 12 months. Please avail this 12 months of free service and go ahead and create a new AWS account. Clear? My dear friends, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you the process of creating a new AWS account? Am I clear in explaining you the steps which are required to go ahead and create a new AWS account? If I'm clear, please type yes in the chat box. And please go ahead and create a new AWS. Please follow the instructions. We are in a motivated state to become a DevOps professional. Just by attending the course, you will not be a backup. You will not get the soft dream job or the dream platform. You need to practice. Success will reach to you definitely only with the dedication, discipline, and practice. And we have to maintain the interest and curiosity right from day one to last day. Keep that in mind. Just by enrolling, you will not get success. You need to maintain the curiosity and interest in learning the subject right from day one to till last date. That's very, very important. Thank you very much. We are now comfortable going ahead and creating a new AWS account. Okay. Now, as I already have an AWS account, let me log into AWS. I will be logging into my AWS account. The URL, as you already know it, it's aws.amazon.com. Let me start from the scratch. The URL is aws.amazon.com. Sign in to the AWS platform. I will be logging in with your email address and the login password. Sign in. I have logged into AWS account. Participants, I have logged into AWS account. What is our next plan? What is our next plan? My plan is to create a Linux mission. My plan is to create a Linux mission. Why we are planning to create a Linux mission? Because we need to learn the Linux commands. This is very important for a DevOps engineer. Every DevOps engineer should be comfortable working with basics of Linux. So that is the reason we need a Linux environment. My laptop is a Windows environment. I cannot learn Linux in my laptop. This is Windows operating system. No, not possible. I cannot learn Linux in Windows. I have to have a Linux environment. That's what I'm doing now. I'm creating a Linux machine. Whichever machine you want, you can create in AWS. You can create a Linux machine. Let's say if you want a Solaris environment, you can create a Solaris machine. If you want a Mac operating system, you can go ahead and create a Mac machine. It's up to you. If you want to create a Windows machine, you can go ahead and create a Windows machine in AWS. It's up to you. Whichever the whichever the operating system you want, you can go ahead and create it in just a minute. That's the beauty of AWS. So my plan is to go ahead and create a new Linux machine. If you want to create a new Linux machine, as you know, AWS is a collection of services. AWS is collection of services. For creating this Linux machine, I'll be using a service called as EC2. Elastic Compute Cloud. EC2 is a service which is used for creating these kind of Linux machines, Windows machines, or any machine, whichever you want. You can go ahead and create it by using the service called as EC2. By using the service called as EC2. So let me select EC2 service. How to select EC2 service? Please observe here. I logged into AWS. Can you see here in the left side top, you find services. Click on services. Go to compute section. Under compute, you will find a service called as EC2. It's all about creating virtual servers in the cloud. So please select the service called as EC2. Okay, this is the EC2 dashboard. Participants, this is the EC2 service. We are now looking at EC2 service. So I have logged into AWS. There's an option called all services. Under all services, I have selected option called compute. Under compute, I have identified my service as EC2. Now I'm in the EC2 dashboard. In the EC2 dashboard, you'll find an option called instances. Instances are nothing but the machines. Please go ahead and select instances. Please look at this. Right now, I have no instances in this region. There are no instances. There are no machines. There are no machines. Okay, very good. Let me create a new machine. So I want to create a new machine. New machine, or creating a new machine is called as an instance. I'm creating a new instance. How to create a new instance? Please observe here. This is the AWS platform. In the AWS platform, our plan is to create a Linux machine. Agree? Where are we creating the Linux machine? We are creating a Linux machine. We are creating a Linux machine on AWS. Okay. Let's learn. Instances. Right now, there are no instances. So I'll be creating an instance. Can you see here? We have an option called launch instances. Okay. Name of the instance. When you're creating a new instance, you can provide the name. Name can be anything. It can be your name, my name. It can be any name. I'm naming it as machine 1. This is the first machine I'm creating, so I can write it as machine 1. You can name it any name. Let me name it as machine 1. Application OS. What do you mean by OS? OS stands for operating system. So you are mentioning that you want to create a new machine. So you have to select the operating system, whichever you want. There are different options provided for you as per the requirement. You can create a Mac operating system. You can create an Amazon Linux. You can create a Windows operating system. You can create a Red Hat operating system. All the options are available. You can browse more for more operating systems. I want to create an Ubuntu operating system, Ubuntu flavor of Linux. So I'm selecting an operating system as Ubuntu. Perfect. The moment you select the operating system, you will get the different versions of Ubuntu. You can see this is Ubuntu version 22.4. There are many other versions you can see here. There are many other versions. There are different types of Ubuntu operating system. Ubuntu for deep learning, Ubuntu for GPU, Ubuntu with GPU instance. There are a lot of different types of Ubuntu operating system. Please, very important point you have to observe. Please make sure that you select operating system. Please make sure that you select operating system which is eligible for free tier. Please have a look at this. This particular option is eligible for free tier. The second option is also eligible for free tier. But the rest of the options, are not eligible for free tier. Observe here. Okay. So remember, the AWS account which we have created is a free tier account. So free tier account is having limitations. You can go ahead and you cannot create any operating system whichever you want. It has some limitations. So I'm selecting the first option, Ubuntu server. That's nothing but the Ubuntu operating system, which is version 22, which is eligible for free tier. Make sure that it is free tier eligible. Okay. So the Linux machine which we'll be creating is an Ubuntu flavor of Linux. Very good. We got it. Next. Scroll down. Instance type. The next thing you have to know about instance type. I have a question for you. We are creating a AWS account. Sorry, we are creating a Linux machine. That's good. My question for you is, what is the RAM of this particular machine? RAM is nothing but the memory. What is the memory of the machine? What is the hard drive of this particular machine? When you're buying a laptop, you'll ask what is the RAM for this particular laptop? Is it a 16 gigabyte laptop or is it an 8 gigabyte laptop? Coming to hard drive, is it a 1 TB storage or a 500 GB storage? You ask for the computer, right? When you're buying for a laptop. In the same way, when you're creating a Linux machine, my questions for you is, what is the memory of this particular Linux machine? And what is the hard drive of the Linux machine? How many processors of this particular Linux machine having? So my question is, what is the hardware configuration? My question is, what is the hardware configuration of this Linux machine? The hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on the instance type. There are different types of instances. There are small instances, micro instances, large instances, extra large instances. There are different types of instances. The hardware configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on the instance type. If you select an extra large instance, it will have a higher configuration. If you select a small instance type as micro, it will be a very less configuration. So the configuration of the Linux machine, the configuration of the Linux machine is dependent on the instance type. There are different types of instances available for you. Please have a look at this. You can see here instance type. There are different types of instances. Scroll down, click on this option. This is T2 nano instance type. This is T2 micro instance type. T2 small, T2 medium. Have you observed? T2 micro. T2 small, T2 medium, T2 large. T2 2x large. 2x large is nothing but 32 GB memory with 8 processors. Okay. C5 large. There are different types of instances. C5 9 large is 72 GB memory with 32 processors. See, huge configurations. You can have a as big machine whichever you want, but please make sure that there is only one instance type which is eligible for free tier, that is T2 micro. Very, very important point. The machine which we are creating, the Linux machine which we are creating is of instance type T2 micro. Remember, T2 micro is the only instance. T2 micro, can you see here? Please observe T2 micro is the only instance which is eligible for free tier. So select the T2 micro instance. The T2 micro instances are nothing but this Linux machine comes with 1 GB memory, that is 1 GB RAM and 1 CPU. That's all. A very small machine. That's okay. So now I know the configuration of my Linux machine. My Linux machine is 1 GB, 1 GB memory. And how many CPUs? 1 CPU. Okay. What your next question could be, what will be the hard drive? I will be coming to that point. You have the hardware, you have the configuration of memory and CPU. The next thing is I need to explain about storage. Scroll down. So this is the T2 micro instance. Remember the instance type should be T2 micro. Please go ahead and select only T2 micro because this is the only instance which is eligible for free tier. Scroll down. Key pair, you can use this key pair to securely connect it to the instance. Very important. We are creating a Linux machine. After creating the Linux machine, the next step we have to learn how can we connect it to that Linux machine. Agree? From our personal laptop, you have to also learn how can you connect to the Linux machine. You can connect to Linux machine only when you have key pair with you. Participants, you can successfully connect it to the Linux machine only when you have key pair with you. So you have to create a key pair. So that's the next step. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension PPK file. Key pair is nothing but a file with extension PPK file. That's a file PPK file. So you have to go ahead and create a new key pair. So I'm coming to that point now. You can connect securely if you have a key pair. So go ahead and create a new key pair. You need to have a key pair for the Linux machine. It's good practice to create a key pair. You're creating a Linux machine. Along with the process of creating the Linux machine, go ahead and create a new key pair. So I want to go ahead and create a new key pair. So it will ask you to create a key pair. Mention the key pair name. Key pair name can be anything. I'm writing it as something like KP with today's date 29. This is the name of the key pair. And where I want to save my key pair. I want to save the key pair in E drive. I will be creating a new folder with the name Sunil. In this E drive Sunil folder, I want to save my key pair. That's okay. Go ahead and it should be. Key pair comes with two formats. Please select the PPK format because PPK format helps in connecting through PuTTY. And the key pair name is KP29. Key pair name can be anything. Go ahead and create a new key pair. When you go ahead and create a new key pair, it will ask you where to download the key pair. I want to download the key pair in E drive Sunil folder and observe the key pair is extension.ppk. That's okay. And save the key pair. Yes, my key pair is now saved. I'll show you where is the key pair available. Participants, this is my key pair which is available in E drive Sunil folder. A key pair is nothing but a file with extension ppk. This file helps in connecting to the Linux machine. So I have done with downloading the key pair. Very good. That's it. Next. Scroll down. Network settings. Don't worry. Take the default settings. Don't change the network settings. By default, the SSH traffic will be allowed. Please don't change any settings. Coming to storage configuration. Storage is nothing. Configure storage. Storage is nothing but the hard disk. This Linux machine comes with 8 GB of hard disk. Okay, now you have the complete answer with you. The hard disk configuration is 8 GB. So Our Linux machine comes with 1 gigabyte memory, 1 CPU, and 8 GB hard drive. Okay, perfect. So this is the default configurations. Take the default configurations. And we already have downloaded the key pair. Very good. That's all. And number of instances. You can go ahead and create the same configuration, 10 instances at one shot. I don't want to create 10 instances. I want to create one instance. You can see, review the details. This one instance will be of Ubuntu version 22, which is a T2 micro. Instance type is T2 micro with volume of 8 GB of storage. Okay. So in your first year, it includes 750 hours of T2 micro instances. Okay. Instance usage for free tier per month. In 1 month, you can use 750 hours. Okay. So this is more than enough. So go ahead and launch instances. Interesting thing, we are creating a Linux machine on AWS platform, successfully initiated the instance launch. Scroll down. There's an option called view all instances. Click on view all instances. You should be able to see your instances now. Refresh. You can see the machine 1 is now successfully created. The name of the machine is machine 1. Every machine will have a unique number that is called as an instance ID. Right now, the machine is in running state, and the machine which you have created is a T2 micro instances. And the moment you select a machine, you will get the IP address of that particular machine. Right now, my dear participants, we have successfully launched Linux machine on AWS. Am I clear? Please respond yes if I am clear in the chat box. Am I clear in explaining you the process of creating an AWS account? What is your responsibility? If you are new for this, your responsibility for the today is to go ahead and create a new AWS account. After creating a new AWS account, once it gets activated, your next step is to learn using this video. Please go ahead and create a Linux machine, which we have just now created. Okay. My question for you, let us stop the chat. My question for you is, where is the Linux machine created? My question for you is, where is this particular Linux machine created? You may have a question, you may have an answer. Sunil, your question is a little weird. We have created an AWS, we have created Linux machine in AWS platform. That could be your answer. My question is, where is this Linux machine created? Your answer could be, this Linux machine is created on AWS platform. My question is, in which data center this particular Linux machine is running? See, AWS is providing memory, it is providing storage. That means they are maintaining this particular hardware in the data center building. So my question is, which data center we have connected, and in which region, in which data center my Linux machine is running. So you need to know that. Go to the AWS machine. You can see here, my AWS machine is running in which region? You can see here, it is in Mumbai. So we have created a Linux machine in Mumbai data center. Scroll down. AWS is maintaining the data centers in Mumbai. They're maintaining data centers in different parts of the world. Okay. So you can go ahead and, if let's say you want to create it in London, you can go ahead and create a Linux machine in London also, whichever you feel comfortable. So remember, you have to keep in mind in which region you are creating an AWS machine. So I have created this machine in Mumbai data center. Perfect. Machine is created. Now what's the next plan? Connect to the Linux machine. After the machine is created, you can also see the machine is successfully running. So what are we waiting for? We have to learn the process of getting connected. Sunil, how can we connect to the Linux machine? If you want to connect to the Linux machine, you need a terminal. Participants, If you want to connect to the Linux machine, you need a terminal. Example of a terminal is PuTTY. What is PuTTY? PuTTY is a terminal which is used to connect to Linux machine. PuTTY is a terminal which is used to connect to Linux machine. So participants, I am based out of Hyderabad city. My Linux machine is running in Mumbai. My plan is to connect to the Linux machine, which is running in Mumbai from my personal laptop. So you need a terminal. What is the terminal you need? You need a terminal called PuTTY in your personal laptop, from any laptop or desktop. If you want to connect to the Linux machine, you need a terminal called PuTTY. So first step, what you have to do? First, you have to download PuTTY. Participants, what you have to do? You have to download the PuTTY in your personal laptop or desktop. Okay, the terminal should be available from in your machine. Okay, so the URL is putty.org. The URL is putty.org. Select the first option, download PuTTY. That's all. Scroll down. Select this option. Alternate binary files. Select this option. PuTTY 64-bit. My laptop is 64-bit operating system. So when you go to putty.org, it gets redirected. Very important observation. It gets redirected to check.greenan. I'll repeat again. I'll repeat again. I repeat it. The website is putty.org. Okay, so when you select this download PuTTY, it gets redirected. The website gets redirected to check.greenan.org.uk. That's okay. Go to alternate binary files. So download the putty.exe. Where I want to download, I want to download in the downloads folder. Participants, you can see here the PuTTY is successfully downloaded. It's an exe file. Obviously, if it's an exe file, you need to run it. Double click on the exe file. The PuTTY will be installed. That's it. It's a very simple. There's no process. The terminal gets open. Terminal gets open. Okay. So we have downloaded PuTTY. Okay. Sunil, your question could be, okay, PuTTY is ready. Sunil, now tell me how can we connect to the Linux machine, which is somewhere running in the Mumbai data center. How can we connect? If you want to connect, you need the following details. You want to connect it to the Linux machine, agree. Select this particular Linux machine. Select the particular Linux machine, click on connect. You have to have the connected to your instance using public DNS. You need to have public DNS. These details are required. For connecting, you need to have what is public DNS? Don't worry, it is something like an IP address. So you should have a public DNS. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Next. Do you remember when you have created Linux machine, it is asking you to download a key pair? Do you remember we have downloaded the key pair? The key pair is nothing but the PPK file. Do you remember where we have downloaded? We have downloaded in E drive Sunil folder. So your PuTTY needs PPK file, not only just public DNS. Your PuTTY needs a PPK file. Okay, so I know where is my PPK file available. Okay, so take the public DNS. I have the public DNS ready with me. So go to the terminal PuTTY. Under the host name, provide a public DNS. Provide the public DNS and go to SSH. Under authentication, private key. PPK is nothing but putty private key. Browse your private key for authentication. So you have to upload your private key. That is in E drive Sunil folder. This is your PPK file. PPK stands for putty private key. And click on open. Are you sure you want to connect? Login as. One minute. Perfect. The default username is Ubuntu. It is asking us login as. Okay, it is login as which user. The default user is Ubuntu. Provide the Ubuntu user. That means that's enough. You have successfully connected. Participants from my personal laptop using a terminal called Putty, I have successfully connected to a Linux machine which is running in Mumbai data center. How interesting is cloud? AWS is cloud, availability everywhere. You have to have the right details with you. You have the right details with you. When you have right details with you, you may be in Hyderabad, you may be in US, you may be any part of the world. If you have the details with you, you have the key pair, if you have the public DNS, you can go ahead and create a Linux machine. I have successfully created a Linux machine. Not only creating a Linux machine, I have successfully connected to the Linux machine. Exit to disconnect the connection and the terminal is closed. So I have disconnected. Let me show you one more time, my dear participants, how to connect to the Linux machine. Let me show you one more time how to connect to the Linux machine. First step, you have to download Putty and with you. I already have downloaded the Putty with you. You have to get the DNS. How to get the DNS, I'm showing you. This is the instances, EC2 dashboard. This is one instance which is already running. Select the machine which you want to connect. There's an option called connect. When you click on connect, you get the public DNS. This is your public DNS name. We already have taken a note of it. This is the public DNS name. Okay, so you have to use this. Next. Okay, so go to Open Putty. I already have installed, so it will be available in my putty.exe. Open putty.exe and under the host name, provide the DNS name. And Putty needs a PPK file, that is nothing but the key pair, under connection, under SSH, under authentication, under credentials, private key, upload your private key. This is your private key, Putty private key, KP29 is what you have created today. That's it. Click on open, login as. It is asking for the user. The default user is Ubuntu. You may have questions, Sunil, how do you know the default user is Ubuntu? It is available here. You can see here, Ubuntu belongs to this particular DNS. The default user is Ubuntu. So UBUNT. It will not ask for the password because we have the key pair with us. So key pair is acting like a password. You have successfully, hooray, we have successfully connected to the Linux machine. You can see the IP address 172.31.1.181. Is it the same IP address? Please observe here. 172.31.1.181. Is it the same IP address? It is the same IP address. Hooray! We have done it. We have successfully connected to the Linux machine. My dear participants, please respond in the chat box. Am I clear in showing you not only creating a Linux machine? Am I clear in showing you the process of connecting to the Linux machine? Once you're done with your practicing, please exit is the command which helps you to disconnect the terminal. I hope you are comfortable creating a Linux machine, not only creating a Linux machine. Anyways, this video will be with you. Please process this, use this particular video to learn. Hands-on is important. Maintaining curiosity is important. Maintaining interest in learning the subject is important to get the success. Okay, let us stop the chat. And very important point. After doing hands-on, after practicing, do not, what you have to do, the machine is in running state. Participants, you have to stop the machine. you have to stop the machine. So don't log out when the machine is running state, because we have a limited number of hours. If you want to log out, please stop the machine. So select the machine. There's an option called instance state. There's an option called stop. So this will stop the machine. So please, good practice to stop the machine. And whenever you want again, you can go ahead and start the machine again. Good morning, Vivek. How are you doing? How is today's session?
Hi Sunil, it is very good session, Sunil. I have couple of doubts, Sunil.
Yes.
First question is why we need to create Linux machine on AWS. Second one is why there are two types of key pairs like PEM and PPK. When we will use PEM and when we will use PPK.
Okay, so let me answer to your first question. First question is, why are we creating a Linux machine? If you look at my yesterday's session, DevOps 6 a.m. new. If you look at the course contents, all these DevOps tools, before learning all these DevOps tools, first we should learn Linux. Okay, Mr. Vivek, because we'll be using Linux in Jenkins, we'll be using Linux commands in Docker, we'll be using Linux commands in Ansible. Okay, most of the DevOps tools will be configuring using the Linux commands. So Linux is an important prerequisite. Basics of Linux is an important prerequisite for configuring and managing the DevOps tools. So Vivek, that's the reason we are learning Linux now. We'll be spending 3-4 sessions, close to 3 sessions on Linux. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Coming to key pair, when you're planning to download the key pair, it is asking you, there are two options. One is PPK file, the other one is PEM file, isn't it, Vivek? Okay. There are different types of terminals. For PuTTY, PPK file is used. Okay, we are planning to connect using PuTTY, so that's the reason we have downloaded PPK file. There's one more terminal called Git Bash. For that, for a different terminal, it uses a different protocol. So for that, we need a PEM file. Okay. Okay, Vivek. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Please drop your hand once you are done with your question. Aslam, bye.
Yeah, Sunil, I have a question about the PuTTY version that we were downloading. So can you show me once again which particular version should be downloaded?
Okay. So go to the website putty.org.
Yeah.
So it will ask you download PuTTY. When you click on this, it will be directed to a different website. In this particular different website, scroll down, go for alternate binary files. In the alternate binary files, select the first option.
Okay.
Please drop your hand once you are done with your question, Jagdish.
Yeah, thanks, Sunil, again for the opportunity. So the question is, the same key pair will be used for different devices.
It's up to us. Different machines, you're talking about different machines, right? Or different devices. You can use it. You can use it. For example, now you're creating one more Linux machine. Let's say you are creating one more Linux machine. If you're creating one more Linux machine, you can use the same key pair, or you can go ahead and create a new key pair. Both the options you can use it. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Clear, Jagdish?
The PEM file and the PPK file. So earlier we are using converting that PEM file to PPK
Now
file, right?
both the options
Earlier.
Amazon is providing it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Thank you,
Jagdish. Good. Yes, Vivek.
Sunil, in AWS we have nearly 200 services, right? We need to learn all services, or
for a DevOps engineer, only one service we will be using it EC2. Okay.
Okay.
But in the interview, they'll expect approximately 6 to 7 services you have to be comfortable with.
Okay. Means those 6 to 7 services you will teach in this session?
No. I will not teach. AWS services, because this is not an AWS course. You have to
Okay.
exclusively join an AWS course. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
Vivek?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. So, my dear friends, we are done with our agenda. You know how to create a new AWS account. You also know how to create a Linux machine. You know the process of connecting to the Linux machine using a terminal called PuTTY. After creating a Linux machine, we already have stopped the machine. And whenever you want to start again, there's an option called instance state. There's an option called start. So whenever you want, you can start and stop it. If you don't want this particular machine, you want to remove it permanently, there's an option called terminate. When you click on terminate, the machine will be removed permanently. Are you sure you want to terminate the instances? Confirm if you want to terminate the instances, because terminating instances cannot be undone. That means you cannot get back the instance. I want to terminate the instance permanently. So click on terminate. Click on terminate, the machine will be terminated completely. That means deleted permanently. Okay. So perfect. So this is how you have to create a Linux machine and you can play with the AWS account. I hope you have enjoyed the session. And please enroll in case if you want to enroll it, please enroll it from the website logiclabstech.com. I hope you already know it. See you tomorrow. What is the plan for tomorrow? As we now know the Linux is ready with us. Now as we know the Linux machine is ready. So let's get started with Linux commands. So most important frequently used commands, we'll have a quick interaction and quick discussion about the Linux commands. That's our plan for tomorrow. I have seen some participants still raising their hands. Let's have interaction. As in
Hi.
Kia.
Yes. Hi. Good evening. Good morning. Sorry. I wanted to ask about the AWS training because I checked the upcoming link, the upcoming batches. I did not see the AWS link there. Neither did I see any session on maybe Azure or something. You
So
know,
Azure, we are
or
starting.
AWS. All what I saw were ongoing classes. I mean,
Okay.
new classes that are going to be starting maybe in the week or something.
Maybe within 1 week, this site gets updated. You may get.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
You
then.
may get
That's fine.
update. Please follow.
All right.
You also get the updates in the WhatsApp groups also. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Your location? As in Kia?
Yeah, Nigeria.
How do you know about this course?
A friend referred me to this course. A friend in the US referred me to this
I
course.
came to know there are a lot of job opportunities in the IT in Nigeria coming up. Am I right?
Yes, you are right. You are
There
right.
is a less number of skilled resources
Yes, you are right.
available. Okay,
You are
so
right.
please capitalize the advantage, learn the skills.
Yes, that's why I want to learn all the AWS, the DevOps, the Microsoft Azure, and all the necessary courses.
Perfect. All the best. Keep learning.
Thank you. Thank you.
Vanessa,
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, I wanted to ask, how are the classes going on? How many days a week are we having the classes?
5 days a week.
Monday to Friday?
You are right.
Okay, thank you.
Monday to Friday, as per India time. Okay.
Okay, thank
Monday
you.
morning to Friday morning. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Mustafa.
Hi. Every day after class, we need to stop the EC2 instance or terminate it.
I recommend you to terminate it because it just takes 1 or 2 minutes to recreate the instance. Okay. So
Okay,
every
yeah,
day
I
after
thought
the
so.
class, please do terminate it. If there is a dependency between yesterday's session and next session, then stop the machine so that you can continue using the same machine. If there is no dependency, then go ahead and terminate the instances. That's a good practice, Mustafa.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hausa,
Yes.
good evening. How
Hi.
are you doing?
Yeah. Good evening. How are you?
Your location?
Maryland, United States.
Okay. Maryland.
Yeah. So, I just wanted to, add to the lady that just asked about the the class dates, if it's from Monday to Friday. So if you are in the US, it's gonna be from Sunday to Thursday.
You are right.
I just wanted to add that.
Monday morning in IST will be it will be Sunday evening. Agree?
Yes, that's correct.
In US. So it will be Sunday to Thursday evening. Agree? I'm right? Okay. Please plan accordingly. Okay. Sharon.
Hi, Sunil.
Yes.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, as I discussed yesterday morning, that I have 1.5 years of experience in mainframes. So that's
You
the
have how
reason.
many years of experience?
1.5 year of experience.
1.5 years of
Yes,
experience.
yes. So before completing 2 years of experience, I'm planning to shift my domain, my
Okay.
technology.
Good.
So that's the reason I'm
Yes.
planning to learn this AWS plus DevOps.
Yes.
So I'm concentrating on this DevOps and AWS solution architect as
Good,
well.
because mainframes is already outdated. Am I right, Sharon?
Yes,
For better
yes, yes.
opportunities
Yeah,
and for better career growth. Okay.
yeah,
You know, IT industry is always volatile, Sharon. So learning
yes,
and keeping our skills intact, we may never know which skill will be helpful for us to maintain
yeah,
the job. Okay. So
yes,
it's
yes.
very good decision to learn the latest technology.
Yeah, yeah. And as you suggested earlier, if I can't shift internally, it's better to shift externally by keeping experience as AWS plus DevOps only.
Correct.
So if I completed this course and if I keep on doing my hands-on, after getting the job, will I be able to do the work in a project in
If you
practical
are
environment?
perfect in whatever we are learning,
Yeah,
both AWS as well as
yes,
the DevOps courses, if you
yeah,
can complete it, if you are
yes,
strong in the subject, yes, you can
yeah.
sustain. There are a lot of
Okay,
success stories who have successfully made their transition from older
okay,
technologies to newer technologies, not only from older technologies.
okay,
There are many participants who have successfully got the IT job, not from non-IT background, maybe from the lecturer jobs or from the call center job or from IT recruit. Maybe persons who are having no experience in the IT industry made their careers and now they're successfully working in the DevOps professional jobs. Okay, so what
oh,
matters is the subject knowledge, Sharon.
okay. So what can I tell if they ask about me the project which I have done on all
First, you
these
have to
years?
complete it. Okay, then you'll understand it, what to answer it. You have to
Okay,
complete the course.
okay, okay. In this
Okay.
course, that is included, right?
Once you are learning about each and every tool, you'll understand what will be the day-to-day roles and responsibilities for each and every tool. So you'll automatically get the answers for the questions.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
Sharon.
Okay.
Thank you. That's all, friends. I hope you have enjoyed the session. Stay tuned for tomorrow early morning 6 o'clock, where we'll be starting the Linux commands. Have a good day. Signing off. Thank you.